If you don't know how you're going to make payroll this week and you're a small business owner, this video is for you. And if you have a line of credit that you haven't used, this video, you're probably not even watching this video because you're probably using it. So I'm not going to talk about getting a line of credit or going into debt. I'm going to talk about the person that those things have either been completely used up or you don't have a line of credit and you can't get one from the bank. We're going to be talking about the 5 things you can do to make sure within the next few days, this week, you're able to make payroll. And I had to learn this the hard way, and I didn't do it the right way. Here's what happened. I couldn't make payroll at the end of the week. This happened several times. When I was growing the business between $200,000 and $800,000 in annual revenue, it was tough financially. We grew really fast. I did it in a couple of years. However, I had a lot of times when I didn't know if I was going to make payroll. I'm going to talk about the 5 things that I did. But I did one other thing just to show you what not to do. Or I guess, in case of absolute emergency, break glass, I actually used my credit card and I would literally process a fake invoice inside of my CRM to be able to get money from my credit card into my bank account. So that from my bank account, I could use QuickBooks to actually pay payroll. Not smart. But I can't use my credit card to pay payroll. So I was literally doing fake invoices. I was eating the cost of extra taxes because I had to claim that as income. I was eating the cost of the credit card processing fees just to be able to get money inside of my bank account before Friday when I knew payroll would be ran. So I don't recommend doing that. So outside of a line of credit, running your own credit card and paying fees and taxes on that money, instead of doing all of that, let alone interest, because eventually you got to pay it back. So let's just assume we're not going to go down those paths. What are the 5 things we can actually do inside of our business in the next 3 to 4 days to make sure we can make, I'm talking like between $3,000 and $10,000, okay? If you want to make 50 grand the next few days, that might be more of a challenge. But if you're trying to make between $3,000 and $10,000, here's what you can do. Number 1. You're going to want to make sure that your books are actually correct. There have been times that I have seen someone in an absolute frenzy, including myself, and then I realized that my books are incorrect. The numbers that I'm looking at in, say, QuickBooks aren't actually reflective of my bank account. So check your bank account. Do reconciling of your books, i.e., does what's in my bank actually match up what's inside of QuickBooks or whatever accounting software you're using? That's called reconciling. I do it every single month. If you want to do it every quarter, fine. But do this first because I've seen some people freak out only to realize that there's really not a problem. It was just a reconciling issue. All right, so do that first. Because at the very worst, if you do that, the next 4, you won't have to worry about as much. All right, number 2, we're looking at overdue invoices. All right, so these bad boys are overdue. These are the people that you've done service for, they accepted the estimate, and now they haven't paid you. And it's been a week, it's been 2 weeks, it's been 3 weeks. It might only have been 24 hours. In my opinion, if I have done the work, that invoice is overdue. And it's due for collections, baby. And so ideally you have a credit card on file. But at this point, we only have a few days. We're gonna change your whole system of your business and get everyone's credit card on file in the next 24 hours. So if you have overdue invoices, what are we going to do? We're going to call them. And we're gonna tell them they need to pay today. Especially if these invoices are 30, 60 days overdue, I'm going to be getting that money right away. And you say, what happens if I call them and I don't get a hold of them? I have to leave a voice message. Great. You know what else you're going to do? You're going to email them, you're going to text message them, and you're going to get a printed copy of that invoice and walk to their house. I guarantee they will get the message and they will pay you. If at all, just to get you to disappear. I have no patience for people that do not pay. And that's why using Copilot, we require them to have a credit card before they even accept an estimate. Because I never want this. But assuming you have these, especially when it comes to projects, because massive projects, people usually don't pay credit cards or they don't require credit cards, which I understand, or commercial jobs. Like, I'm sorry, Mr. Billy Bob, head of 500 restaurants for Denny's, you're going to pay your invoice. And it's not going to be in 120 days. It's going to be in 120 seconds. Cough it up. Number 3, the third thing that you can do is collect on deposits. Okay? So these are projects that have been accepted, estimates that have been accepted, and they owe you 50%, 25%. Whatever you require for deposits, they owe you that money once they've accepted the estimate. So now I've gone through all my overdue invoices. Now I'm going to go through my accepted estimates and say, what can I collect up front? What can I get prepayment on? If I'm selling a contract, can I give someone 10% off if they prepaid me today? That's an option. If you have people that are paying monthly for the whole year, call them up. I'll give you 12 months of service for 10 months of payment if you pay right now. Again, is this the best thing? No. It's not a very good thing when you're trying to cram for payroll. But this is what you can do to make it through. Deposits. We're looking at accepted invoices that require money down in order to get the job scheduled and get the job ready to roll. I would also look at any estimates that have been sent that require a deposit. Because I know if I can sell them, I can literally call them up like, hey, if you want this job, fantastic. I'll give you 10% off if you close the job today. Oh, great. Okay. It does require 50% down payment. Great. That'll be $2,000. What's your card number? That's awesome. So any sort of estimates, whether they've been accepted and I just need to collect the deposit, or if they have been not accepted, I will follow up with them and close the deal and get the deposit paid on the phone. Again, you can avoid these sort of issues by using a software, kind of like Copilot. There's other ones out there, but overdue invoices should never happen. Have a credit card on file. Deposits, did I spell deposits wrong? I did. Deposits. There we go. Very good English. You can also avoid having this problem by every time someone accepts an estimate, have a deposit threshold set in Copilot so that you already have the deposit sitting in your bank account before they even are allowed to accept the estimate. So that's another little hack. All right, number 4. All right, we're going to wrap it up, baby. We are going to wrap up any projects that are currently almost finished. I've done this before for businesses and owners of Augusta Nation. I do these steps and all of a sudden they make $15,000 or $20,000 because there's projects that, they're 2 or 3 week projects. You only have a day or 2 left on the job. Wrap it up, baby. Why? Because I want to collect. And I'm going to finish the job, and I'm going to go knock on the customer's door and be like, you now owe me? Here's the invoice. I'm ready to go because I need that money now. I don't got time to wait. I need to make sure I can hit payroll. And so if I'm going to go wrap up a project, I'm going to go collect on that same day. And that leads me to number 5. You're like, all of these things I've done already. Great. We're going to go and sell 1-day jobs. All right, well, what's that mean? I'm going to go door knocking. I'm going to send out emails and text messages to all of my customers, and I'm trying to sell jobs that I can complete and get payment today. So I'm going to, I don't have any jobs. I don't have any work. I don't have any jobs to get deposits on. I don't have any overdue invoices. There's no projects to wrap up. It's super slow. Okay, great. We're going to go sell jobs, not to jobs that are going to take 3 weeks to do. I need to survive. And anytime you talk about survival in life, in business, usually not a great scenario. If you're trying to survive in the Sahara Desert, it's not a great life. Nor is trying to survive and make it to payroll. But we need to have it done. I don't enjoy it, but it needs to happen. I need the oxygen, i.e. the cash, to be able to pay payroll this week. So I'm going to sell 1-day jobs that I can complete today and collect payment today. So in landscaping, that's something like, can I do a property cleanup? Can I install mulch? I need money now. If you're doing other industries, think about what job can you get done in less than 1 day? Because those are the jobs you're going to go door knocking. That's cold outreach, talking to people who don't know you. But ideally, this is the time to send emails to all of your existing customers. We call them one-click estimate emails inside Copilot. You send a whole bunch to people, they click on a button and says, oh yes, I want an estimate, thank you. And you could send that out to a whole bunch of people at the same time, all people inside of your database that have already done business with you in the past. That's why it's so important to keep track of emails and phone numbers inside of a database. That's why Copilot exists. But what you're going to do is sell these 1-day jobs. I don't care if you have to text them, call them one by one. Their whole objective here is to sell these 1-day jobs. And although the reason I mentioned door knocking and putting out door hangers is because you might not have any contact database. But if you have a contact database, why would I reach out to people that have never heard of me, knocking on their door, interrupting them, instead of people that have already done business with me? They already know, like, and trust me. They've already exchanged value with me. I already know they need services. I've done it in the past. So what you could actually do is actually look through your database and see which people have done jobs at this time of year. So for example, if it's March, you're like, well, I have no work. I need to be able to schedule jobs and get these one-day jobs sold and paid. Great, I'm gonna go back to last year and say, who did business with me between March, April, and May? I'm going to try to sell all of them because there's a really good chance whatever services they needed last year, they need it again. If they had their house cleaned then, they probably need it now. If they had a tree trimming and a bush trimming then, they probably need it now. So I'm gonna sell those one-day jobs, whether it be people inside my database, or if I gotta go knock on doors, gotta talk to people who've never known who I am, that's what I'm gonna do, because I need to make that cheddar by payday.